Chapter 3, Mishnah 2. The previous Mishnah taught that a get must be written lishma, that is, for the specific purpose of divorcing that particular woman. Our Mishnah teaches which parts of the get are subject to this requirement. A scribe who writes tofsim of Gittin, that is, he writes the standard text of Gittin in advance, to have available when someone comes to him for a get, must leave blank the spaces for the name of the man, the name of the woman, and the date of the divorce. Even if he knows a particular couple is headed toward divorce, he may not fill in these parts of the get for them without receiving instructions to do so from the husband, because these parts of the get must be written lishma, and a get cannot be considered to be written lishma unless the husband asks for it to be written. However, the standard text of the get, tofes, need not be written lishma. The rabbis therefore permitted a scribe to prepare advance copies of this part of the get to be used when needed. The Mishnah teaches that the same law applies to other legal documents. Similarly, in the case of loan documents that a scribe prepares in advance, he must leave blank the spaces for the essential information, i.e. the spaces for the name of the lender, the name of the borrower, the amount of money that is to be borrowed, and the date of the loan. And so too, in the case of documents of sale that a scribe prepares in advance, he must leave blank the spaces for the name of the buyer, the name of the seller, the price, the boundaries of the field, and the date of the sale. Although under biblical law, there should be no reason why these details of the loan or sale cannot be entered in advance, because the law of lishma applies only to Gittin, not to other documents, the rabbis forbade it so that people would not be led to do so in the case of Gittin as well. The rabbis, however, did not forbid writing the tofes of the get in advance. The Mishnah now explains why. They allowed scribes to write the tofsim of Gittin and other documents in advance as a benefit to scribes, so that they should be available when needed, and a scribe should not have to take time out from other activities to start writing a get. Therefore, the rabbis let stand the biblical law that only a toref, essential information of the get needed. Therefore, the rabbis let stand the biblical law that only the toref, essential information of a get, need be written lishma. Atana disagrees. Rabbi Yehuda considers all legal documents whose tofsim were written in advance, invalid, even if blank spaces were left for their essential information. According to Rabbi Yehuda, the rabbis did decree that a tofes of a get may not be written in advance, just as the toref may not be written in advance. Furthermore, they extended this prohibition to include all legal documents, not just Gittin. A third view, Rabbi Elazar considers all financial documents valid, even when their essential information was written in advance, except for Gittin of women, which are invalid when written in advance, even if the space for the essential information was left blank, because it says in the Torah, "And he shall write for her," Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 1, which means that the get must be written for her sake, lishma. Since the Torah requires the essential part of the get to be written lishma and not in advance, the rabbis extended this requirement to the rest of the get as well as a precautionary measure. However, regarding other legal documents where there is no requirement of lishma, the rabbis left the biblical law in place, and they may be written in advance.